Good morning. Just wanted to speak about the superduke. I have a 2021 KTM 1290, and I am taking her to the dealership. Alright, so I bought the bike in June last year, so it's going on almost a year. I've put not very many. I've put 6,500 miles on it so far. But the problem that I had is so far the mirrors start rattling. It's as if they're just kind of wearing out on the inside and just vibrating up and down constantly. You can hear them while you're riding. And then now, yesterday, on the way home from work, as soon as I left work, the screen was going haywire. It kept on going orange to white, and it said ambient light failure, and it wouldn't stop. It just kept doing that. I just left it alone. I worry about it later. I figured it's because my screen, I don't know if anyone else has had this problem, but the actual screen, it looks like it's coming unglued around the edges. And I'm wondering if this is causing the problems due to visibility for the sensor, and moisture might be getting inside of it. I don't know. But if it is, it would explain why it did the next thing it did. I'm going down the interstate, I-10. It takes me about an hour to get home, and I'm a third of the way there, and the screen just goes black. The engine's still running. I pulled off the side of the interstate. I was sitting there looking it over. I turned it off, and then I was able to turn it back on, and the screen came on. It worked, and it had a bunch of sensors, and it said MCU failure. It had a bunch of lights, engine light, oil light, all that stayed on. Okay. I tried to crank it. It crunk very easily, like no problem. I got back on the interstate, not even 5 minutes later, it did the same thing, screen goes black. This time I didn't pull off. I realized that it's like it's in limp mode, the engine's still running, you're still in gear, and I was able to hold the throttle all the way back, and I felt like I was doing about 70, 75. And I didn't know what to do. I was on mid-riding, I turned the bike off, crunk it back up, and the screen came on. But then later on, it did the same thing and went back off. So I just rode it like that all the way home. And since the screen was off, it didn't register my fuel that I used. It didn't register, it probably didn't register mileage. Who knows? But so I went ahead and headed home. I filled it back up so I could take it to the dealer with a full tank. And the computer realized that I filled it up, so hopefully that fixed the problem. It reset. It won't get stuck at the wrong. How much is in the tank? Or I could be wrong and it doesn't register that way. But usually I use 4 bars to get home, and it was showing that I was only used 3. So I was worried that it didn't register enough fuel was used. Anyhow, so far almost a year. And those 2 problems is the only problems I've had with the Duke. The LCD screen, that's a big deal, but it's covered under warranty. They will replace it. He said they will. So they got no problem getting the bike working correctly. But what I'm worried about is if they just replace the screen and then it's working fine, and then next year I have the same problem. But that's not. I don't agree with that. So I'm hoping maybe this is just a fluke and won't happen to me again or anyone else. But just letting y'all know. Y'all, thanks for listening. Oh, if he says anything, like more information on the subject of replacing what needs to be replaced, and if I end up, will have to go through this problem again or whatever, I will put it down in the comments below. Alright, sorry about the weird angle. I literally just set the phone down That's where I set it to have GPS to go down to Freeport, where he's located at Distinctive Cycles. They seem to be pretty good people. All right, well, y'all have a good one.